Ronge's outgoing mayor is still working overtime for the community to ensure housing for all.
This evening, we have the Kikinahk Friendship Center run, Woytowich is here. So I'd like to invite Ron to speak. And you have the floor.
Thank you. Good morning, I guess.
Good morning. Yeah.
Before I start on this, I want to congratulate you on your election as mayor. I do hope you enjoy your term. As you know, I didn't run again. I had enough. And I sure hope that everything goes good for you. And the rest of council, we all know. Like I said, thank you for running, and I do hope the next 4 years are wonderful for you. Now back to Kikinahk. As you know, I'm the director of Kikinahk. I've been for 25 years now. Holy crap. Anyway, this is what's happened, and I honestly don't know much on this, but apparently the federal government, our National Association of Friendship Centers made a deal with the federal government to piece off some of the funding that was going to Aboriginal organizations, we don't know who, and Saskatchewan Friendship Centers are getting either, I heard 4 and I heard 6, but I know that Ronge, Prince Albert, North Battleford and Saskatoon were all getting, if council approves, an 8-unit apartment block for low-income people. And it has to be shovel-ready by the end of March. And I've been told that by Friday I have to have an agreement in place for the land. We have to submit to this place in Regina or Saskatoon what we have in place already. So Prince Albert did theirs 2 nights ago, and I guess PA City Council approved some property. They're turning their 8 units into residences for people coming out of prison. We these are all 2-bedroom units, and we just want to do the low-income apartment block.
So I just have a quick question. I just want to confirm, this is the CMHC
Yes.
Robert House. Okay.
Yes.
I wanted to confirm that.
They sent me this package for our, people who use Kikinahk and or all services in town. We do know that the federal government has hired an engineering firm. We have nothing to do with that. They called me this afternoon, wanted to know my timeline. I said I'm meeting tonight, so I'm supposed to let them know by tomorrow. These will be completely wheelchair accessible. I don't know what that means. It will have an elevator because it's 2-story, and they say there's going to be an elevator, wheelchair accessible. Oh, and also and solar powered in some way. So it's federal government doing it. So my request is to come to council asking for property that could be earmarked for this project. I talked to Robbie, and according to him, there are 2 properties now that are zoned correctly. And there are ones on the, I call it north of Sunrise, directly attached, and one is directly on the south side of Sunrise Apartments. They're all bush. So, realistically, if this is coming to us for nothing, I guess somebody will be paying for clearing of the bush, and quite frankly, the land is not all the best, so it would have to be filled and everything else. They will not have a basement, I know that. So I guess, that's all I can say. Robbie has told me that the town's value on the property is around $100,000 for either lot. One's a little bigger than the other. And I'm hoping that council approves the one that I call south, nearing Louis Road. First of all, my request is that you approve that. Second, normally within the town, we've always had a policy of 10% down. And I'm asking that you waive that because it will come out of Kikinahk if it's not approved. And quite frankly, if it's all approved, we will get the money. And I know what you want for the lot, so we would, I'm putting that in the application tomorrow, value, and I'm just asking that you approve it, before the end, say March, during the winter. And if the government approves it, it has to be it has to be, what's the word for it? Shovel ready by March 31st. But it's the best I can tell you. It's kind of a nice chance to get. And I have no idea what the value is or anything, but.
NBC News spoke with Kikinahk Executive Director Ron Woytowich on the phone on Friday, December 18th, following the meeting to get some clarity.
Hello.
Just wanted to hear from you a little bit more because it sounded like you have a really cool opportunity, and it seemed like today was maybe a soft deadline. And at least from my perspective, I didn't, based on what you said, I didn't seem like I got a ton of closure from what happened there on Wednesday.
Oh.
So I wanted to know how things were going with that Perspective project and whether or not you made it in today to talk to the engineers or anything like that.
Well, yeah, I actually got him in yesterday. This is an initial application.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing has been approved at all. What I told council was what I knew about the funding, that there was an opportunity for us and we had to apply. And I was supposed to have it all in by today, and I got it in yesterday, late, but I stayed, I think it was around 5:30, got it all done. And so it is sent in respect to the fact that we're a nonprofit and a registered charity. All those documents have to be sent in to prove that we fit that part. Mm-hmm. But and we also had to have land in place, what they call a shovel-ready project. But bottom line is, this is all a big application, and I hope I didn't go through a whole pile of nothing.
Initial contact was also made with the CMHC on Friday, who said they would get back this week with some elaboration on the definition of shovel-ready. Unfortunately, the CMHC was not able to provide any extra detail. Time will tell if these properties, which are not yet serviced by utility lines, water, power, sewer, or anything like that, will be eligible for this grant opportunity when the next fiscal year arrives in April of 2021.
I've been reading some other stories across Canada, and it sounds like the federal government has really put forward what can I say, this housing right across Canada and opportunities and for cities and for small towns and everything else. So
at the meeting on Wednesday, you had brought up that you had talked to someone and that they had highlighted two potential properties around Sunrise Apartments that you called North and South, and that you needed to have a property, quote, earmarked by Friday. But I didn't really get clarity from the meeting with the Ronge Council, like whether they gave you an answer to North or South. Like, did you have to be specific on the application, or?
Yes, and we worked that out yesterday as well.
Oh, okay.
It's the South one,
Sweet.
or I call it South.
Yeah.
It's the one, between Kikinahk and the apartments.
Thanks so much for your hard work in getting that application, and I know the people. It gives excitement to the people here to see these opportunities be available. So thanks for all your hard work.
It sure would. Honestly, it would be really nice to get.
Prince Albert announced that they're getting this and putting it up. And so the questions we're having is, did they know about this, or did they jump the gun and announce something that, the federal government wants to do?
So does everything has to be in place before the end of the year, right? So
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not before the end of December, so that it's all in place and shovel ready by the end of fiscal year, March.
Got it.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I have a question for Dean. In regards to the waiving of the 10%, would it not be administratively easier to, rather than waive some land and actually have it landlocked to a certain person or nonprofit, that we would look into the consideration of just having it in the contract language that the deposit of 10% will be refunded on the event that the grant application is not approved?
Yeah, if council's in favor of providing the property, we would certainly suggest that it be subject to funding approval and, cause if the funding isn't there, the deal is dead anyway, right? So I think we can deal with that moving forward in the, offer to purchase part of this thing.
Sorry, except that what I was told was anything that is spent prior to a contract or anything that is not in the contract, we have to eat. So that's the big one. If we have to put up 10,000, even if the project was approved in the end, then we would lose that 10,000 because he would keep it toward the value of the land, and we would not get our money back because we paid it before the contract was signed. It's a
I think
catch-22.
if we get to that point in the discussion, we'll work with Ron to sort that out. That's a grant application issue, and it's more a matter of council's agreeable to waive the 10% upfront, and that's a council decision. And if that's the case, we'll work that through the grant process. If this is the direction council wants to go with Ron, they'll be filling it out, but we can. I've seen the form just because we had to look at the Rapid Housing Initiative as well, so I'm not totally familiar with it, but I've seen it. But we'll advise Ron, I guess, what we need to do to comply with the requirements if that's council's decision.
Okay. No, I thank you for coming through with this, because this was something that was on my radar, and I think it's now a great opportunity for us. So thank you for taking that upon yourself to do that, because it's something that we need.